If you have a small business and you're struggling to find good employees or any employees that will fit your business and can help you, there are several things you can do that will help. So you hear a lot of people talk about how there's an employee shortage, and to be honest, the reality is that good employees are always hard to find. They were hard to find 30 years ago, and it will be hard to find 30 years from now. And the main reason for that is because good employees are always working. The honest truth is that employees who are good at something, they're not just sitting at the couch waiting for your call, and they're not putting out resumes. They're actually working somewhere, or they're working on something, or they have their own business, or sometimes they have two jobs, but they're not waiting for you to show up and offer them a job or offer them a job. And a lot of times they're not even putting out resumes. They're just simply working. And sometimes they're not happy at work, so they're quietly looking, but they're working hard, a lot of times in two jobs. So this is the first thing you really need to realize, is that if you want to look for good employees, you really need to find them where they are, and where they are is they're at work. So understanding that is very crucial, because that's going to be leading to your step one, where you're going to find good employees. So what are we going to do with that information? So now that you know where good employees are, most of the time they're at work, one of the best things you can do is create a really good culture for work. So basically you're going to create a work environment that's actually pleasant to work at, and it's a place where people enjoy working, and that's going to become a culture for your business. And it's going to be very well known that it's kind of like a fun place to be working at your business. And this is probably one of the best things you can do for your business, is actually create a business environment that's just super fun to work at. It's always upbeat, people are smiling, and it's just a good place to work. Because you'll be amazed how many employees hate the place where they're at, because the culture is just not very good. A lot of places have really negative culture. It's just kind of like a negative culture. So if you just build a business that's just average, if you just build a business that's not negative, you're already better than 90% of the businesses. So especially if you build a business that's kind of fun, you do kind of like, do lunches, and it's just kind of a pleasant place to work where people can come, and it's kind of like an island of sanity, because a lot of employees kind of have crazy private lives. They might be single parents, and they have a lot of things going on. So when they come to work, they want to be in a place that's kind of at least relaxing in a way that, it's not a source of like a ton more stress. Otherwise, you're going to have a hard time finding people, because who wants to be working in a place like that 40 hours a week? And I know this is not something you want to hear, because you want to get like a quick pill, like a quick solution, like where do I find a great employee? And this one you really need to work on. It takes months and months to kind of establish this, but if you need to start somewhere someday. So I would definitely focus on your culture, the culture of your business and the other employees. And this is why you can't really have one single negative person in your business, because that just spreads to everybody, and then you're left with nobody but negative people, because the positive one's going to leave. So in the meantime, while you're looking for an employee, keep working on your culture, and keep working on your expectations, and keep working on, keeping a place kind of upbeat and personable, and it's going to be a huge step forward. Now, the second thing you need to do is find the employees, the great employees, where they are, which is at work. So they're going to be working at different places. And this is why Google, Microsoft, Apple, whatever, all these big companies usually try to look for employees, and they try to recruit them from different places. So, for example, if you go to Starbucks and you get a Starbucks drink, and you just love the barista that's working there, or whatever business it might be, maybe you ask them, have you thought about working in a such and such business, whatever business you have, and because if they love their service and they're really smiley, they're really positive, and you might be able to make them an offer that they just can't refuse, and maybe they want to work at your place. And so basically you have to work on somehow recruiting happy, joyful employees who are great at what they do. And sometimes it's not the same position where you're offering, but you have to really kind of look for personalities. And personally, I would look for basically 4 things, because 4 things you can't really teach. One is hardworking, because hardworking you can't really teach. Hardworking, you either have it or you don't have it. Also smart, smart, not so much education, but somebody who doesn't keep making the same mistake over and over again. And then somebody with high integrity, because you also can't teach that. High integrity is basically when somebody's doing what's right, even when nobody's looking. And the 4th one is emotionally mature. That's another one you can't teach. And you can have somebody who's 20 years old or 80 years old that are emotionally mature or immature. Age doesn't matter, really. But these 4 things you really can't teach. So you really need to have these 4 things in your team. Navigate those things squared away. Those are the basics and fundamentals. It's very, very important to know before you even look for anybody to help you or join your business. So now it comes down to how do you find this business? How do you find these people? So one of the best way to really find them is social media. So once you create a business that's kind of fun and positive and upbeat, I recommend posting almost every single day on the, on your business page by fun posts. Like you see a lot of businesses kind of have like really, really fun, an upbeat post that kind of matches the personality and the vibe and the energy of your business. And then that's going to attract a lot of great people because they're going to be seeing your post and they're going to be, attracted to that as like, oh my gosh, this is kind of like a fun place. Sometimes you see like an orthodontic office that's kind of fun, or it could be like a dog training business. I mean, whatever it is, you can kind of identify it when you see their social media posts. It's kind of fun, and people are going to be like, following you and watching your post. And it doesn't have to be always your business related. It could be like something completely different. Like I just saw a funny post the other day. It said while everybody's concerned about politics and a war in Ukraine and things like that, soda's taking over half of the United States. And what they meant is like some people call it soda, some people call it pop. And so like 40 years ago, it was more pop than soda. Now it's more soda than pop. It was just kind of like a funny post with a map, okay? So, stuff like that. It has nothing to do with your business, but it's kind of fun and, not quirky and not weird, but it's kind of just fun to read, and people will follow this and then they start following your business because it's just kind of entertaining, and people like to be entertained. So basically you're building a large followers. You're building this following clan with your business and with your personality. And then once you're looking for somebody, you can actually put some notes there too. I mean, people already going to be reaching out to you that they want to work for you, because you're kind of like a fun place and you're like this go-to business. And then once you're looking for somebody, you can also post some notes there that, hey, if you want to have a great time at work, you're looking for an office manager or whatever. And then a lot of people will see that, and it's not really a classified ad. It will be just people who following you will see that, and somebody might be working for like another business and say like, oh, that would be kind of like a fun place to work, and they'll call you and say, hey, what are you offering, what do you pay, and things like that. So you're gonna have a much better luck with this than putting out classified ads and looking on Indeed and ZipRecruiter and stuff like that, which is very expensive. And all you find a lot of times is people who are looking, and a lot of times people who are without jobs. And like we already talked about, most people, most of the time, the great people are always working. Just think about if you're successful, what was the last time you were out of job for 6 months? Like, I can't remember ever not having a job. Like going back to like age 12, I can't remember ever not having a job. So I would kind of go around doing this, and I know it's not a magic pill, but this will work, and you're gonna find great employees if you do this. And I think you're gonna be a lot more satisfied with your results than if you just keep putting out ads. And again, I keep seeing business owners who are getting super annoyed and disappointed that all the people they're finding through classified ads don't show up for work and things like that. Well, they don't show up for work because they've been sitting at home doing nothing. So, and a lot of times the way unemployment works, you have to apply for jobs. So, just to keep their unemployment. So a lot of times you're finding people who are not necessarily wanting to work. But if you do what I just outlined here, I had several coaching clients that had really great luck with this, and it takes a few months, but I promise you it will work. And in the meantime, you can also put out classified ads, but don't spend a lot of money on those, and really screen those clients and make sure that they're actually working, because if they're not working, that could be a sign that they're probably not going to be working for you either. So I'm Dr. Nagy. If you need any help with this, let me know, and hopefully this is helpful.